Okay, so here we go. Trisha Snehashish, no umbrellas. That's the big story coming out of Navi Mumbai, and one can see there. I can't see any rain, wet roads there either. The flags are there. Trisha Snehashish, Gargi Bharat joining me. The big semi-final, just about 59 minutes away. Trisha and Snehashish set it up. Set it up. This is the match that all of India have been waiting for.
Absolutely, the temperature is rising here, literally, and as far as the semi-final excitement is concerned. In fact, here I was standing for Sneashish to come back from the press box, and I was having a chat with one of the guys who sells flags and draws those flags. He said something fascinating, Doriada, that already made my day. I was chatting with him, and he said, when we go for IPL matches or when we go for, Wankhede, CCI men's matches, generally we would have a day's sale of around 800, 900. पिछले 2 मैचेस में मैडम यहाँ पे हम 1000, 1200, 1500 तक का सेल कर चुके हैं. यहाँ पे इतने लोग आ रहे हैं मेरा सुबह से. एंड ही since 1 o'clock he is here, and by 2 o'clock he has already had a sale of 700 today. So he was massively excited. I am excited for the match for him and for the way women's cricket is on a high.
Before you said it, did you buy those two jerseys for the studio or not? The ones that
No,
I've told you? Arey,
no, they have
really?
left by the time we went. Sorry, they left by the time.
Don't bullshit
अभी
me.
अभी will buy. अभी will buy.
Because don't forget, go and buy because this is important. Take a photograph and go and buy. It's
Yeah.
historic. Ashish, your thoughts before I go to Gargi and Bharat.
Yes, absolutely. I think from the morning, all the eyes were on the skies, that whether it is rain or not. But right now, it's all clear, bright, and shiny, and it is looking good. And the way people are turning up, and it was expected that we already reported that it is expected a jam-packed crowd will be there to support the team. I already saw two people wearing Australian jersey also. That is quite
Yes.
surprising.
But Indians wearing
Yeah,
Australian
Indians
jerseys.
wearing. Yeah, Indians wearing Australian jersey. Steve Smith written in behind. So that is quite surprising. But it is going to be a cracking of a match for sure.
Only
Amir
अगर
Ansari's
आपको बस
finally
दिख गया
said,
तो सबको बस दिख गया.
Finally, this has
आमिर
happened.
अंसारी को अगर बस दिख गया तो मतलब सबको बस दिख गया है. Gargi, your thoughts on Amir's point?
I mean, he didn't see buzz in Australia. He didn't see buzz in England. He did not see any buzz during the Asia Cup or India versus Pakistan. Finally, it has happened. This is one of those incredible once in a
well done,
lifetime
Sneashish.
moments.
Well.
Congrats.
Okay,
No,
but the fact
but
is,
for real,
Indians wearing Australian jerseys, I can understand. The only person who seriously needed to wear it is Pooja. Is Pooja wearing or not?
Yes. I'm not 100% sure. Pooja since morning has at least messaged Sneashish and me every 15 minutes about
How
weather
is the
updates.
weather? How is the weather?
Exactly. So, but
Pooja has to make the card. Gargi, make sure at 2:25
yes,
the card is made. Australia has won the toss. वो card बन जाना चाहिए 2:25 तक. Pooja has to make that card. Bharat, set this up. This is Viraj More. India wins 85-25. This is cult. This is cult. Absolute cult. This is was. Come on. Bharat, set it up. Are you nervous? Yes, Gargi, quick comment before I go to Bharat.
no, I'm just saying you can question my math skills as much as you want, but English is where I draw the line.
I can seriously say we can question your math skills, but we cannot question your entertainment skills.
yeah,
We cannot.
agreed, agreed.
Gargi, we absolutely all of us in one thing have to say this. But Bharat, on a serious note, huge match. Stakes are high, tension is rising, packed crowd, decent weather so far. You can see, hopefully Trisha and Snehashish will have a good game there. But Bharat, your first comments.
Yeah, I will start on a light-hearted tone as well. Maybe it is 84.72 and 15.28%. I think that is the correct prediction. India and Australia. Anyway, coming back to this game, yes, Australia obviously will start as the favorites. See the main factor with that Australian lineup is that batting lineup. If I look at that batting lineup, I kind of get scared because it goes right down to number 10, maybe even number 11. Scott also scores some runs here or there. I know Elena King can bat. So I think that is what really scares me or sends shivers down my spine. But yes, they can still be beaten. It's a one-off game. And if Australia's bowling, I don't think it's that good compared to their batting at least. So, if for example, I think from India's point of view, it's better for them to bat first because it's a knockout game. If they win the toss, if they win the toss, but that you can't predict external factors. You can't predict sitting whether the rain will come or not. So I think because it's a knockout game, better to win the toss and bat. And if India can get some runs on the board, maybe 300 or whatever, because conditions we generally feel are good for batting in Navi Mumbai, then they can perhaps put some pressure on that scary looking batting lineup. So yes, India have a chance. So see, it's, as I noted, it's a one-off game. They just have to go out there and play their best cricket. Just enjoy their cricket. That's the most important thing, because maybe too many teams put themselves under too much pressure and then they end up losing. So just enjoy your cricket and hope for the best.
Trisha, weather. Lot of
It has
people
become
asking whether it
extremely
was
hot
better.
out there.
But
It's extremely hot here.
has it rained in the
Clear
morning?
skies.
So
Clear
there
skies,
can be a full
absolutely
game
right now.
today. Can be a full
Yeah,
game
yeah.
today.
Hi, Chan.
Will be a full game today. Because anyway, I was just seeing the weather prediction about an hour back from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. The prediction says 0% chances of precipitation, which is what we need for the game to happen. So as long as that happens, it's perfectly fine. But right now, Boryada, it's so weird. Today morning, when we were doing the morning videos, we actually got drenched because of the rain. We went back to the hotel. Now we have come for the afternoon match, and it is so hot that we are sweating. We are getting drenched again, but now with sweat. So Doriana sent us some thermometer, some Rolo, something. But this weather is absolutely crazy. Doriana, you have
Lot of
pulled the
people
Gandhi,
saying
is it?
India bat first. No, no. Lot of people saying India bat first. Bharat also said the same. Your thoughts? Big game, knockout. Trisha's nodding her head. Before I go back to them, Gargi, bat first, bowl first. Huge knockout match, pressure. Shafali Verma, lots at stake.
I think it's better if Australia is not left chasing. I just feel that way. I think have a psychological edge over Australia at this point. Put up a huge total. When you go in, there will be, knockouts are always very, there's a lot of pressure during knockouts, but knowing that Australia have chased down the highest total in history, I'm just going to say that don't leave Australia to chase. Make use of make use of the fact that it's sunny outside. Bat first and get as many runs on the scoreboard as possible.
Same question to you,
I
Trisha.
You
mean,
are
bowl.
saying don't leave Australia to chase, and then you are saying put up a total first. Rearrange. You're
I
making
would
nervous.
clearly I'm not.
No, it's she's trying to do a shole. That is why I said there is a
Yeah.
dose of entertainment. Then sportsman is writing, Gargi is confused. That is
I am
the
happy.
that is the eternal state. When she is not
Yeah.
confused, is the unnatural state. We are used to this. At Rev Sports, we are used to this, so no problem.
And we
Having
are
said that,
scared when she's not confused.
exactly, there's something wrong. Then something's wrong. So Trisha, on a serious note, bat ball conditions of the pitch. Yesterday you were there at the optional. What is it looking like? Give me a sense of the last couple of training sessions and everything else.
I'll start with the pitch. The pitch yesterday, when Smriti, of course, was checking the pitch, and she came, it was a complete batting track. There's loads and loads of runs in that. The only thing is, there will be a bit of moisture because of the overnight rain. The pitch was covered since about 7:30 yesterday night. Yeah, since 7:30 yesterday night, the pitch was covered. And today morning, the last time we came and we saw here was 10:30 a.m.
10:30.
Yeah, even 10:30 a.m. the pitch was covered. And in fact, at 10:30 a.m. last, there was a passing shower that was heavy. That's why the entire ground was covered at that point. And then on, there has not been any shower, and the pitch is now the pitch, of course, is uncovered. So I do think there will be a bit of help initially for the bowlers. One, that is one of the reasons I want India to bowl first. The other thing is, I know, Bharat, what you are saying, and I completely agree that one cannot control the external factor, but also one knows that the external factor will play a huge role. I'm not 100% sure if India batting first would be a very good idea. So I do feel that the stop starts, and I was explaining this in another video that what happens is when you come out to bat, and it's bright and sunny right now. So you are coming out to bat with this in mind that we are going to bat for 50 overs. So this is how we are going to pace the innings. And then suddenly there's rainfall, it becomes 47 overs. Till that, it's fine. But if it then reduces to 35, 37 overs, the whole thing becomes a bit of a problem. The chasing team gets a bit of an advantage. That is where I feel, and especially India against Australia, I don't know if India should bat first. I kind of think that they shouldn't. But also, every time India has defeated Australia, they have batted first. So that part also is playing in my mind. So again, I have to go to what Gargi said. I hope Australia doesn't chase, and I hope India bats first. I don't know how does that work. But to be honest, I don't want India to bat first.
This is one of those games, all of you. I mean, where I believe that whichever side kind of soaks it in. We are talking about Australia
Yes.
favorites, Australia favorites. Even that's pressure. Australia has to know that India is the underdog. Everybody expects Australia to win, but that itself is pressure. Bharat, thoughts? People are expecting, assuming Australia has walked the park, won the thing, everything is done and dusted. It's not that easy. Bharat Ramraj? Bharat, mute.
French Open, Rafael Nadal was playing Robin Soderling in the 2009 French Open. I also, as is one of his biggest fans, was expecting a straight set win. And as it turned out, Robin Soderling went on to win in 4 sets. So if Rafael Nadal at his peak can be beaten by Soderling, then anything can happen. So as I noted, India just have nothing to lose here because maybe most of them are not expecting India to win. Most of them are not expecting India to come to the final. So just play your best and hope for the best because if it's a one-off game, it's not like you're playing a series of 5 matches when you expect Australia to win maybe 4-1 or 3-2. But in a one-off game, in a knockout match, you can definitely come out on top, and there will be pressure on the Australian team as well, as you noted, because they are expected to come out on top in this particular match.
Gargi, sports fan is asking, what is Australia's weakness? What can India target? Do you see any weakness? Do you think this is where India can kind of jump in? Maybe the Renuka Singh Thakur first spell ball coming in. Is that something India needs to use? Australian weakness?
Unfortunately, I don't see any particular weakness that can be exploited here. They have been a very, very well balanced team. If you look at the entire setup of the team, you've got Alyssa Healy, who had that incredible 142 knock. You had Beth Mooney scoring a century. You had Ashley Gardner scoring 2 centuries. You have that batting lineup is as consistent as can be. Then you have an Elise Perry, who is, as usual, consistent and brilliant. You have Phoebe Litchfield, who's also, this is an attack that is an absolute nightmare for any opposition. The only way, and I agree with Trisha, Bharat, and Snehashish when they say is have a psychological edge over them. Again, I know I made a bit of a mess last time, but don't if you win the toss, don't put Australia to chase. Go out there, bowl first, because that is the psychological edge you can have, especially with the overhead conditions. If you have, this is the only way that weather can actually play on your side. if DLS comes into play and India is the one chasing, that's a huge advantage for the Indian batters, especially with Pratika Rawal out, especially with, it's the batting lineup is not as strong as Australia. So with all of that considered, if you win the toss, again, it rests on toss so much. It's sad, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, that's the reality. And if you win the toss, then go out there and bowl first.
Makes a lot of sense there, Trisha. That's a really decent analogy, well thought out. That could be followed. And your thoughts also about this is a good question, Ashish Shandilya, on the growth of the women's game between 2017 and now. What you are seeing in this tournament.
Now, 2017 and now, of course, there's a huge difference. But as far as India, women's cricket in India is concerned, I would say more than 2017, WPL has been the greater factor here. And especially, in the second WPL, once RCB won it, I know it sounds very poor, but then that's the truth. I think RCB has been one of those franchises who had brought in the biggest amounts of crowd. Mumbai Indians, you also have to give a lot of credit to the MI franchisee as such, because I remember they used to bring in a lot of school students. So I think more than 2017, women's cricket changing the mindset of Indian fans towards women's cricket. I think the growth has happened or exponentially increased since WPL. In fact, even here, there are jerseys of, as expected, Mumbai Indians, but also RCB. RCB is everywhere. RCB is there in England, RCB is there. So I think WPL has had a huge role to play. Um, as far as 2017 World Cup is concerned, I remember after that in Australia also there were a lot of people watching the match. I did a trimestral series in 2018 as a graphics operator, and there also I did see a lot of crowds. But here, the crowd is not only a lot, I think here it's magnet. Just now, Snehasis and I could not hear each other because there was Goku in the loudest possible way. People are buying it, they're screaming. And I have written this, I think, and said this once or twice that it is so confusing in the press box. If you are in the toilet or if you are going to take water, because the crowd just screams. Somebody feels the crowd is screaming, and you're thinking maybe I've missed a wicket or something has happened, but you just realize it's a dot ball. So it's maddening crowd, and I think Alana King Boryada has mentioned this that we are not playing 11 Indians, we are going to play about 12 to 13 Indians, and I think that pressure is on Australia, and that Ashish, sorry, that actually shows where the growth has, reached, where you can actually say that now Indians are 11 on the field and one or two outside the field as well. That's the growth of women's cricket, and that's why I think to take this forward, India needs to win this semi-final.
Jishu Singla, Rev Sports is doing so much hard work. Thanks to all your team. I'm referring the channel to all my friends. Please take my name, Boria sir. Yes, absolutely. Anyone. If you enjoy, just follow. I mean, it's all because it's a platform by journalists and for journalists. I always keep saying it. Be a part of it. Enjoy the debate. Disagree with us. Ask questions and be a part of the journey. Satvik Bagaria, Snehashish, this is for you. Kranti got, she was targeted by the Australians, conceded a lot of runs. Should she play? Was unable to take a wicket. Of course, she should play, but Sneha, she should take that.
Yes, absolutely. She will definitely play, and the partnership with between Kranti and Venuka will be very crucial for India, especially with the new ball. And I think with the old ball, I think Kranti will be a better option for India, especially with the bounce and all. And even in the last practice session yesterday, also she was seen practicing that bouncer deliveries to the batters. So I think Kranti will be crucial, and obviously against Australia in the last match she was being targeted. But if you see, she made a decent comeback in the New Zealand game. So I think she has made a comeback. She's in a good space of mind, and I think she will be one of the crucial players for India in today's outing.
Also, the Bharat, okay, Shafali is under extreme pressure. Saurabh Suman, if she scores big, it will be a comeback of the ages. She doesn't, people will make her a scapegoat. Don't agree, but Bharat, you take that. I don't agree with the scapegoat bit. I don't. I think people are more sensible than that.
Not very sure she's under extreme pressure in the sense that this is a chance, this is an opportunity for her. She was playing somewhere in senior women's T20 tournament, and now she's playing the World Cup. So if I put myself in Shafali's shoes just for a minute or so, if I'm thinking in the same way, then I would look at it as something like a big opportunity for me. She again has nothing to lose, and she has a chance to just go out there, express herself, and get a 50 or 60 quick fire 50 or 60. So I don't think she's under pressure. And even if she fails, I'm not very yes. See, the Indian cricket fans are such that if someone fails, a couple of cricketers fail, then they will definitely get criticism. So it's not just Shafali Verma. Even Pratika Rawal was getting a lot of criticism on social media for not scoring quickly. So that's not something only related to Shafali Verma, but she will definitely look at it as an opportunity. I just want to add a point on Kranti Gaud as well. I think it's also about experience. Maybe lack of experience went against Kranti in one or two games. It felt as if she was bowling a little more, too much at the stumps. Because in one day cricket, what has happened now is you have to bowl a little more defensive lines. Maybe with Renuka Singh around, it will help her in terms of guiding her in kind of lines that you have to bowl in one day cricket these days.
Gargi, this one is an interesting one about body language. Kids, Kira, that knockout matches, body language. India oftentimes falters in body language. You've seen that with the captain. If there is a misfield under pressure, she doesn't sort of keep her cool. These are important little ingredients that can decide a match like this. Thoughts on that? Very important issue of body language in a knockout game, Gargi.
Absolutely. I think we've also spoken about this in the men's context as well. That it happens that when the chips are down, you usually see that the body language is not as aggressive as it usually is. But when it comes to today's game, it will be very very important how Harmanpreet Kaur leads the team, and it will be equally important that Harman makes sure that everyone is at their best, everyone is feeling as confident as ever, because psychologically, if every single player in the team is feeling their best, is feeling confident, is feeling like they can go out there and win the game for the team, India is better off. And it has a lot, no short temper today will help anyone. There is a lot of pressure on the team already. We constantly, in the evolution of women's cricket, keep talking about 2017. That was such a pivotal moment for the history of Indian women's cricket. And if anything, people will constantly compare the two semi-finals today and what happened in 2017. That needs to it, today needs to be a repeat of 2017. You kept saying, ahead of the World Cup, that this is the women's team's 1993 moment, 1983 moment, and it continues to be that fact. That statement continues to be true from what we've seen so far. BCCI putting in so much facilities and support for the women's cricket team. It's time to now take it to the next level. This is where a lot of young girls will be looking up to a lot of players on the field, how they react to these situations. A lot of aspiring cricketers will also be looking at how they behave, how to take on a situation, a high pressure situation like a knockout game or a semi final against a top class team. So there's a lot to be lot to be done today.
Rahul Satish, Boria, are you making money from covering women's cricket? Does it make profits? No, it doesn't. But it's never been about money for here us with us at Rev Sports. Trisha and Snehashish have been on the road from the 24th of September. Is it making money? No, it's not. Who cares? Atreyo Mukhopadhyay will be in Goa for a month starting today for the World FIDE World Cup chess. Will it make money, you reckon, Rahul Satish? No, it doesn't. But then it is not always about money from these tournaments, right? It is also about being able to market it. It's about being able to create legacy. It's about being able to inspire. Look at the quality of coverage these two have been able to put out, and in the 45 days, if they've been able to grow as journalists, that's what matters. Money we will make, don't worry. We've got enough ideas how to make money. Nobody is denying the importance of money. If I am, then I'm a fool running a business. Having said that, it is not always about ROI from particular tournaments. It's also about creating legacy and trying to make a difference to the field, which is exactly what we are here for, to disrupt. Plenty going on there. So I thought I'll address that. Priyanshu is asking, Trisha, how will you celebrate if India wins?
I'll not celebrate. I'll wait for the final. If India wins,
Right.
South Africa is waiting for us. If India wins today, we are going to go on to win the World Cup. I'm quite sure about that. So yeah, so I'll wait and I'll celebrate on the third in the office because on the third we'll be back in Kolkata. So in the office we'll be cutting a cake, maybe champagne or something like that. So because it'll be huge for me. I know if India wins the World Cup, I'm gonna cry. That's done. That's said and done. You know, but yeah. But there's one update for the other. Alisa Healy is batting. So she has done knocking. So there was question around her being in the team or not being in the team. Clearly, she is going to play. Also, I wanted to
Amanjot,
add to what Gargi was saying. Sorry, there's a
Amanjot
lot
or
of noise.
Radha? That was somebody asked. Amanjot or Radha?
Sneh neither of the above. Sneh Radha Yadav played in place of Sneh Rana, and I think Sneh Rana will be back because with the back, Sneh Rana will be important. And we have seen how Amal Mazumdar and Harmanpreet had wanted a longish batting order. So I think they will go with Sneh Rana yet again and not with Radha because yes, Radha did get 3 wickets, but it was against Bangladesh. And that too in a match where there was absolutely no pressure. So understandable. But sorry, Puriada, I'm interrupting. I wanted to add something to what Gargi said about the captain being calm and leading the team on. From what we have seen till now, taking nothing away from Harman or directly criticizing her, but the truth is, there is one person who's definitely leading this team from the front, who's doing everything that a leader should do, patting on people's back, talking to them, being there when others are practicing, and that unfortunately is not Harmanpreet Kaur, but fortunately it's Smriti Mandana. So Smriti Mandana right now, to be absolutely fair, looks more like the captain than Harmanpreet does. I think for some reason Harmanpreet is under a lot of pressure. You can see that in her behavior. I just like in her mannerisms and all. Smriti has been the one talking to the batting group, staying and talking to Jemmy, being with Jemmy, Harleen. She has been doing a lot of talking. She has been guiding the group. So I think Smriti is the one who's doing a lot of the leadership work. But on the ground, the decisions have to be taken together by Smriti and Harman. And I think every time Harman loses her cool, she should go to Smriti. Because she's the one who stays calm. You cannot take stupid decisions in this match. That you cannot do.
Okay, so somebody saying who's this celebrate in any other way other than alcohol? These two people, I think interestingly, all five here, none of
We
us
don't
really
do.
have alcohol. In fact, we don't even have alcohol. Teetotaler, nobody. I mean, none of these five here have much alcohol. Alcohol is not something for us. So uh, that's
And
not
it's
something. We
fine. You
will
don't have to.
celebrate in our own way. Don't
And
worry
it's
about it.
not.
We'll celebrate in
It's
our own
not
way.
like you have to act. Everything is a sin. Chill, guys. Just
No,
chill.
no, that is so 100%. Having said that, we'll celebrate. Don't worry. We'll celebrate
Yeah.
in very many
And we
ways.
will
Very,
and we
very
will
many
put
ways.
up a reel also so that you guys know how we are celebrating.
Okay, can India handle the pressure? They have already bottled against South Africa and
That's
England. Bharat Ramraj, take that.
Not just South Africa and England. I will go back to how they played Australia. Last year, I was there in the T20 Women's World Cup in Dubai. They could have beaten Australia in Sharjah, but they didn't. Maybe they made some mistakes as well in terms of their bowling plans. And that was the same again against Australia in the Commonwealth Games. And one could see it in the T20 World Cup in South Africa as well against Australia. So against Australia, India have a problem. And in this World Cup, as it has been noted, India have flopped against England and against Australia, though Australia, I feel, was the stronger of the two sides in that game. But I don't think it's just about pressure. India do make some silly mistakes, fundamental mistakes. I think that is where it comes down to. If you look at that India England game, they were not converting singles into twos, especially I think it was the 45th or 46th over when Deepti Sharma just walked the other end. It was clearly you could have taken 2 runs for that particular ball because it had gone towards the long leg or on those lines. But she still took a single run. So these small things I think matters. And even when it comes to that India Australia game, India should have played out 50 overs. They didn't do that. So they keep doing these silly mistakes, fundamental basic mistakes, and that is where I think India are losing out when it comes to these tightly contested or keenly contested games where the margins are very small.
So Ian Bishop, in his pitch report, has already suggested that there will be some swing or some lateral movement because of the moisture and the overcast conditions. That's what he says. We are waiting for the toss update and the team. Any moment, we will give it to you. The moment we get, plenty of questions still keep coming. Uh, India can try to defeat Aussies by posting a massive total. Okay, this is the other side. Our bowlers can't take wickets in knockout. Fielding is pathetic. Fielding, Gargi, that's the concern. I mean, you dropped simple catches even against Bangladesh. Who was that? Sri Charani, right, at short third, who dropped that catch. Multiple times we've seen that happen with India. Basic drops. Today, Australia can just outwit us with fielding. That's something we have to guard against. Very, very important.
Look, catches make or break games. One brilliant catch could absolutely change the course of a game, and you don't want to give chances to this Australian team, no matter what. And we keep talking about this. See, when we talk about Indian women's cricket or this team in particular, we keep saying that they are unable to sort of take control of the opportunities that they get and turn it into big moments. Oh, I think we have the toss update. India has won the
Yeah.
toss.
No,
No, Australia has won the toss and decided to bat first.
Whoa!
So,
Australia chose
Lisa
to bat.
Healy says we are going to bat. So, Australia wins the toss and batting first. So, India will be fielding, or what Gargi was saying, chasing the total down. First comments Trisha Ghoshal, Snehashish Mukherjee. India chases.
Good. I'm happy. I'm actually happy that India is chasing. I was a little worried that Australia might want to bowl first because of the conditions, but I think Australia listened to what Bharat had to say and they are batting first. There will be a bit of a move in Korea, and if Venuka can come in and clean up the top order of Australia, at least you can put them under pressure. That's the important part. I'll just read out the playing 11. Aliza Healy, Phoebe Litchfield, Ellis Perry, Webb Mooney, Annabelle Sutherland, Ash Gardner, Talia McGrath, Sophie Molyneux is back, Alana King, Kim Garth, Megan Shute. That's about it. And Sophie Molyneux is back after quite a few matches. She has only played the two India matches and the first game that Australia played. Which was again
Australia played against, I think, New Zealand.
New Zealand, yes. Against New Zealand, Sophie Molyneux played, and then she played against India. Then she did not play, and now again she's playing against India. And this is pure matchup, pure left arm spin matchup. But that will come in the second half. I think what India now needs to do is absolutely look at the power play. How many wickets can they pick in the power play? I don't think it is about keeping, India. Oh, very interesting. Absolutely well done, India. Well done.
They have done it.
They have finally
Finally
done
done
it.
it.
Smriti Mandana, Shafali, Verma, Aman Jokor, Harmanpreet Kaur, Jemima Rodriguez, Deepti Sharma, Richa
Quick
Ghosh,
bowling out.
Radha Yadav, Kranti Gaur, Sri Charani, Renuka Singh.
The most Naira.
So, Radha
So
Yadav
no
for
Sneh
Sneh
Rana.
Rana. So Radha Yadav comes in for Sneh Rana, left arm spin, plus the fielding, I reckon, gets Radha
Yes.
Yadav into that side big time. India, interesting combination. Who wants to go first? Krisha, you go first
No,
before
no,
I take
Koryada, you did
Gargi.
not mention the
Right,
main
yes.
one. You did not mention the main one. Harleen Deor finally dropped for Amanjot Kaur and nothing against Harleen Deor. But the fact is we now have a sixth bowler and we have an all-rounder, which is the most important thing. We keep saying mighty Aussies. They're mighty Aussies because out of 11 of them, 9 of them are all-rounders. We anyway have very few all-rounders and I'm glad that we are using it. Unfortunate for
By the
Hurley
way,
to have missed
by
out.
the way, Harmanpreet Kaur says she would have batted first as well. That's what she said at the toss. We would have batted first. We wanted to bat first, but it's okay. we want an early breakthrough. That's what Harmanpreet Kaur has said at the
When
toss.
Harman says such thing, I often feel whenever Harman says such thing, I often feel glad that she does not win too many tosses.
Bharat, your thoughts? Team.
Yeah, it's good to see that India have gone for an extra bowling option because even if you look at it from Harleen Deo's perspective, it was not that it was she was adding a lot to the team because she was not scoring, getting those big scores like Pratika, but she was also playing out a lot of dot deliveries. So India having that extra bowling option, I think will work well, especially at a ground like Navi Mumbai where you expect big scores. So I think that's a good move from the Indian team.
Gargi, last few minutes on the show, Sneh Rana, surprising omission, Radha Yadav, or you're okay with that?
It's a difficult one. It is a difficult one, but I would have kept Sneha Rana in the team. I know that she brings in a lot of calmness. She brings in a lot of experience and the ability to stay calm under pressure. I think she can take pressure really, really well because we've seen her do that multiple times before. And because it is a knockout game, it is a semi-final game. It is more of a game of pressure or who handles pressure better than skill. So I think I would have kept Sneha Rana in the team.
Trisha, afternoon showers, if that happens, curtailed game, Alyssa Healy might just think this was a bad toss to call. If India gets the
Yes,
advantage of the Duckworth Lewis and India gets that side of the draw, who knows? Who knows if weather will come in or not? There are chances of showers. No one can play to weather. I understand that totally. Having said that, it is a risk that Australia is running.
but I mean, yes, it's a risk as we were discussing, but it's a little different if India had batted first because India is still very top heavy when it comes to batting. So if India batted first and in someone like Smriti in this kind of a game would have moved to play out the entire 50 overs. So her batting style would have changed. Whereas if we look at Australia again, because of what we have been continuously discussing, staying batters, Australia is not going to hold back. So Australia is not going to face the innings as such until if you force them to face the innings by taking wickets. That is where I feel it is a good cause to lose because there will be something in it for the bowler. By the time Australia comes, there won't be anything in it for the bowlers if it's a 50 over game. If it rains, then both the sides would become difficult. But ideally, where it does not change a lot for Australia is Alisa Healy and Litchfield will come trying to hit every ball out of the park. And that does not change at all, whether they're batting second or batting first. Whereas with India, that changes. And that's why I think for Hanban, it's a good toss to lose. Otherwise, she would have gone and batted.
Okay, Ayush says there's a super chat saying, told you 2 days before we can't bowl 20 overs of off spin. You denied directly, Radha will not play. Who wants
Yeah,
to
I
answer that?
still deny. I still deny. I think it's a poor decision that Radha is take. Not because of don't go everything by off spin or left spin or left arm spin. The point here being, what is the speed at which Radha goes? What is the speed at which Sneh Rana goes? Try and understand that. Radha's balls will come onto the pad easier than Sneh Rana. Rana is way more experienced than Radha when it comes to pressure situation, as Gargi just said. So when we are saying something, it's not like we are trying to have a competition with you and trying to deny you of your rights of speaking. What we are saying is comes from a lot of analysis and watching the practice session. Radha's first arm action is actually going to help Australian batters. I repeat again, if India can dismiss at least two of them in the power play, you will suddenly see the whole equation changing. If not, having Radha Yadav will be costlier than having a Sneha.
There are a couple more super chats. Let's take them. Ashish Punna, go get them, girls. Enter the field with your chin high and fight hard. Build partnerships, field well. Good and bad moments will come. Keep it together. Back each other. 1.4 billion Indians. That's a beautiful comment, Ashish. As always, backing the team. That's how it should be. There's a third one, Gargi. There was another super chat before that. Can you take that? And either you or Bharat can take it. Australia, the Ronka, whatever. If India can bowl one side of the wicket, proper planning, otherwise Australia will come hard, post a big total, wet pitch, spice will be used. Who wants to take that? Bharat, Gargi, one of you take that.
Bharat, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. See, I go back to the same point that I made about Kranti. I think the one thing that went against her in the last game between India and Australia was she attacked the stumps a lot more. In modern day one day cricket, maybe you have to go slightly wider of off stump, especially when the batters are attacking as much as they did in that particular game. So slightly wider lines might help, but obviously you can't bowl short and wide. It has to be slightly fuller and with the right kind of field on the offside with deep cover. The right kind of field on the offside could help. And the second point, yes, there would be a little bit of moisture. Hopefully, Renuka can get one past Elisa Haley. Looking at Elisa Haley's technique, I fancy Renuka doing something on those lines, getting that in swinger nip packer. If she gets it right, I think she can get her LBW or bold because always feel that with Haley, she gets her front pad kind of right across, and there is a chance of getting her out. And Renuka also balls that leg cutter kind of a delivery to sow the seeds of doubt in the batter's mind. So hopefully, Renuka and Kranti can take advantage of that little bit of moisture up front.
Okay, so what's a good total for India to chase? On that note, we will close the show. Gargi, what's a good total? What will make you feel really okay, calm nerves at the dinner break?
What's a good total? My goodness, that's a
Knockout game, big pressure match.
big 360.
What?
That's that's a lot. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to say for Australia, 360 will be great, but I'm just kidding there. India should restrict Australia anything under 290, 280. I think
280,
more than
290.
that,
Okay.
there will be too much pressure.
I kind of
I
tend to agree 280, 290.
I
Trisha?
agree. I completely agree. Anything below 300, I would actually say anything below 300. I think all of us were discussing the same thing. Anything below 300. And yeah, if
Agree.
Australia scores 360, then in the mid innings, we can just go.
We can do the
Yeah,
process.
Yeah,
360 is a
we
done
can do the
deal.
push.
360 is a done deal. Anything under 300, I'll give India a chance. Bharat Ramraj, closing words?
Yeah, I would maybe slightly differ because it's a knockout game, and the way India have played in the past against Australia in a knockout game, especially while chasing, you feel that anything over 270, they might be in some kind of a danger
Yeah,
because
I
it's
mean,
Australia.
270, 280, 290 is what we are saying. So, Bharat 270, Gargi 280, 290, Trisha same ballpark. Mota Moti, the similar ballpark for every one of us. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Either way, massive semi-final, folks. Let's back the team. We'll see what happens at the end of 7 hours. Australia favorites. Make no mistake, they are the better team. They're the gun team. They go in as favorites. Having said that, this is a knockout. It's a one-off knockout. It's a World Cup semi-final. Packed Indian crowd, 1.4 billion people. All of that stuff. Support, crowd support, sea of blue. Anything can happen. Trisha Snehashish, all the very best in Navi Mumbai. Gargi Bharat, to everybody joining us, thank you very much for joining us. We will be back mid innings, and hopefully, Australia hasn't gone past 270 to 8. Thanks a lot for watching.